Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another video for you guys. Today's going to be a little bit different. Here I am in PA. I drove Project Mark 7 out here in PA with my boy, and we're actually going to visit Raceseng out in PA. Now, you guys know how much I loved my shift knob, and I was actually really highly impressed of the fact that it was completely custom and the type of effort they make when it comes to making their products. Today, we're about to sit with the CEO, hear some ideas of designs that they're coming up with for new products, as well as the current ones, as well as we're gonna take a tour of the entire shop to see how these products are made. So without further ado, let's jump inside and let's head inside. Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am at the Raceseng headquarters with the Iron Man.
Oh, geez.
I'm calling him the Iron Man of just making awesome products for your vehicle. Raceseng.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that. This is a beautiful, literally a beautiful establishment that you have here. Definitely well put together, and you can definitely see the detail right when you're walking through the front door. So I mean, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an interview. You know, you see these parts, you've seen them on Instagram. If you have not checked out their Instagram or their website, I'm posting it down in the link in the description below. But what I want to do is, when I got my shift knob and I did that video, and if you haven't seen that video, click in the upper right hand corner of the screen. But when I looked at this, when I looked at this box, I said, okay, we got a box. We open it up, and it's just quality piece after quality piece, from the packaging to the little R that's edged out in the foam on the top, to the instructions, to the story that's personally signed on the bottom of the description. It's just, it all comes together in this way where it's just like, wow, like yeah, exactly. You get this fantastic product and the experience. And I'm like, I have to come here to just see what these guys do, because I've never been like wowed before. This was an experience.
That makes me proud.
Exactly.
No, because it's that stuff behind the scenes that we do. That, you know, I'm no different than you. I go to work, but this is just so happens to be my place of work. And when you do that day in and day out, those details.
Right.
And when I watched your videos, I was like, I just got those moments of, okay, yes, oh yeah, he's getting it. Or, yeah, okay, recognize that. Because that's what I put in while I'm sitting there looking at that little piece of foam packaging, being like, how could I design this a little bit different than just being flat sheets of foam?
Right.
And so when what I call that the circle loop.
Okay.
So when I do something, right, and then when the customer puts that into a piece of content or something, or an Instagram post, and it comes back full circle, I knew that's what we should be doing as a company.
Okay. I mean, I wanted to sit down with you, and I really wanted to ask some questions in regards of the company, the type of products that you guys make for the people who don't know. I just want to know, like, Raceseng, where the name, and where did it start? Like, where did it come from? Did you guys always just used to make?
Good
like,
question.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know the link between race and sang. That link is actually a tie of our heritage in racing and our last name Sang. So when you put it together, it's actually what you get. And I don't know if you notice in the logo, the E and the S are actually connected.
I've never noticed that, so you just mentioned it.
So when I was working on that logo and the branding, and you know, that's how I am as a designer. Like, everything's integrated,
right?
Intentionally. So if I'm like, well, you know, I could do that in the font, and if I connect those, then you see that, and the E and the S are coming together. The other thing is in the Apex R icon. Okay. So the upper portion of the icon is actually supposed to represent our family heritage in racing, and the lower point, which is the only piece of logo that's orange, is the sport of racing, and where they come together is where we call ourselves. That's where Raceseng lives. We live at the crux of where that logo is, and that's where our family heritage meets racing, and that's why that point is at such tension there on the logo. It's sharp, it's pointed together. So the reason why I engrave that on our parts is because we always, aluminum or metal is really what really race cars are mostly built of.
Right.
So when we engrave our parts, we don't laser engrave a lot of them. We actually machine the engraving down into them. And we do that to just sort of emphasize that relationship of the logo, because it's what we've always done and made our build aluminum race car parts. Wow. So to show that in contrast in the logo, to pop through the anodizing like it does, that's just another piece of, well, how can I take that and make it tangible into our parts? That's another little nuance of that whole thing. So yeah, Raceseng is basically the formulation of my family's heritage, with my dad and I starting this business up and crafting and creating parts that advance the driving experience.
Awesome. I mean, even with that R logo, I like the way that you tied that even to the reverse portion of the shift knob. I was like, oh wow, there's little logos in there.
Yeah, that's just so happened to be right.
I was like, wow, that couldn't have gone any better than that.
No, that is cool.
But no, I definitely see the quality, and I see that you guys definitely give people options when it comes to colors and designs and shapes and weights and stuff like that. What I wanted to ask, I know that you guys just don't make shift knobs.
Right.
What else do you guys make currently for?
So shift knobs is the big core. We do make top mounts for the FRS and BRZ, which is the car we started in. So we make independently adjustable caster camera plates. Okay. So we want to do them for the MK7 actually.
Ooh, okay.
New video.
So that might come out soon, guys. Whenever that gets done.
What's hard is our heritage is actually fabricating whole cars, tube chassis to engines to suspension systems. So for us to make something as simple as a shift knob it fits within our scope of what we can do, but it's really like the simplified form of where the company can go. It just so happens that it blew up.
Right.
We just sell a lot of shift knobs, so I accentuated that and kept growing the platform. But we make suspension, handling. We're getting into aero, and we're getting into things like steering wheels and pedals and other things that connect the driver more to the car. Because the manuals are dying, as sad as that is for me to say.
Not for me to know.
But we have to evolve.
Of course.
So, even what's sitting on the table behind you, that most people are like, you guys made billet aluminum roller rocker arms at one point? Yeah, we did. You guys made pistons and connecting rods and flywheels and yeah, we did a lot of stuff. We made billet uprights for Corvettes. And so, it's hard because I feel like a lot of people see the brand and they're like, oh, those guys make shift knobs. I'm like, we do, but there's a lot of other things we do make. And we're still young as a company. So hopefully, as the years go on here, we get into other markets and we have that same sort of shift knob experience that you had, and for everything else that we make.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought products before, and usually, like I said, you just get stuff in a box. I'm not bashing anybody, but you sometimes you do get like the box, and other people even go a little bit more above and beyond to make sure that the product doesn't get damaged, it's presented nice. But I was pretty impressed, and you get like the silk bag. The shift knob is in, you take it out, it's just like, it's just like glory. I mean, and I, when you're on a website and you're just like about to order your product, and I was like, ooh, 5 weeks? I was like, oh God, it's gonna take 5 weeks to make. But then when you really think about it, I'm getting a piece that a lot of people pay attention to in a car, especially in a manual car. A lot of people that's like, for me, like,
it's the centerpiece.
Right. Yeah. Even the GTI, like GTI would have like red, accents throughout the car. Subtle, but small. But then that red, translucent red shift knob right in the center. Yep. And when you take like a nice view of it back and it ties in everything, like it should have been that way from the factory. Yep. And it's not too much. I when I looked at it in the picture before and I ordered it, I was like, I think that might be a little overbearing, but it wasn't. It actually fit in that interior perfectly.
That's cool. And that's something you hit on there is really important for us. As a designer, when I'm in SolidWorks, which we'll walk you through at some point here, when you're working on something in the screen, you're literally seeing a part here, and you're not seeing the whole environment that part's sitting in.
Right.
So we really need to think, hey, this is going to be sitting in a multitude of cars. So when I'm working on paddles, I actually have to morph my design language not to be so heavily Raceseng, and I actually want to build in an OEM language into it. Because when those go on there, I don't want to look like our part's alienated
Right.
And it's like, well, like it's just this massive amount of stark contrast. To want to blend in, the key balance is how do you still make it racing when you do that, and that's tough because if you're so driven by the OEM language, it's going to look too OEM, and then why would the aftermarket enthusiast tuner want that? So we have to have that intricate balance. But in the shift knobs, we do have that realm of really doing them enough, but not over the top where it's doesn't fit within our brand language. But for somebody like you, like you're our ideal customer, where you see that and it fits, and you see the details and the design, and for you that adds up to the experience of racing. Yeah. And that's when I know that we're literally hitting our marks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I can't. I definitely just like I know I keep raving about it, and you have to watch that video to even show my expressions. Like I couldn't make that up. I opened the box in front of you guys. I never saw it before, except for pictures, and I had to really understand like how would that look in the car. And there was only one Instagram post that I saw, and it was like a matte red.
Yeah,
and
it was satin red.
It was a satin red, and I couldn't really grasp what the red translucent. I'm like, come on, I've gone this far in customizing it. I might as well go with the banging color.
Yeah,
I might as well just like go all in and just get the red translucent. And it's and I say that and it's not even just for the fact that the part looks nice. It's very functional too.
Yep.
It feels really good in the hand. And usually a lot of their moldings like Spirology or what are some of the other ones?
Yeah, Topology, Slamology, those cores all interchange. We have Orbiture, Creature, and Signature too.
All the churs and ologies.
Yeah.
But I wanted something like simple, so I got Spirology. And then when I held it in the hand, I noticed that one thing that was amazing and that it didn't, well, I don't know how it is in the summer yet, but I'm sure it will be fine. But I noticed one thing in the cold with my previous shift knob was that when I put my hand on it and it's like 15 degrees outside,
it's cold.
It's freezing, and you don't want to touch it. This, it's mostly I don't know what type of material
it's
you use.
Delrin, it's called. It's a plastic.
Okay.
It's an acetyl. Oh, sorry, we're getting technical here.
No.
It's a Delrin. It's an acetyl grade of plastic. The trade name is.
Technical is the reason why we're here today.
It's Delrin. So yeah, that cover is truly meant to do exactly what you're experiencing. It's to insulate your hand from the weight of the stainless steel.
Yeah.
But you got to have the stainless steel
for the rigidity of it.
For the weight.
Yeah.
That's where the mass comes from.
When I tell you, like, I don't know if you've ever been in a car with a racing shift knob, but when I switched my old one out and put this one in, literally, it was a night and day difference. Night and day difference from the throws, especially like my power gear. Third gear, I like to throw it in. I love throwing it in third gear all the time.
That's the critical gear.
That is the critical gear.
If
you don't get that right, you're done.
You're
So going into third just always, and it's still to this day, it feels very satisfying to go into, and that's throughout the rest of the gears too. And you feel it like it's top heavy, like there's not that much throw that you need to give into it anymore.
Yep. And one thing I think is important is that you reached out to us on Instagram, and all this is genuine from you.
Yeah,
it's authentic, and that's actually one of our core values is authenticity, and that we translate that through. And for me to sit here and have you go through this experience with you just finding us on Instagram, DMing us, and us helping you decide on things, and now to be sitting here for you, this to me is like it's like the holy grail moment of why I do this.
Yeah.
Right? Because
absolutely.
you pour so much into it, and you're being real about the part and your experience with it, and I know that wow, yeah, like what we're doing it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. We need to just keep doing it.
It really is. Like I like for me, and I have friends that like something would bother me. That is something that's so small. My friends that have known me for a while, and you know who you are, know that I am. I want, like, literally, my friends that know me for years know that it's the small things that bother me. Like if I'm at McDonald's and I can't even give an example. If I'm at McDonald's and you don't ask me, oh no, let's just change McDonald's altogether. If I'm at Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
And you ask me what type of drink do I want. Let's say if I want a hot chocolate, and you don't, and I don't get the whipped cream.
Missed it.
Yeah. For me, that'll bother me.
That first sip.
Right.
Yes.
It's just like I want the mustache. I can't, and that experience is kind of ruined for me because it didn't go above and beyond. It's just a now. hot chocolate in a Starbucks cup versus it's the Starbucks cup with hot chocolate with a little bit of the pumpkin spice in it for the holiday season that they usually do. And I'm getting way off topic, but
but you know, going off of that though, because it's important for people that watch your channel and that see your experience with this,
right?
That we're not a big company. I mean, there's one guy there,
right.
There's a couple there, and
it's very small.
We're tiny. We're competing in an industry of Goliaths.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it, we're tiny compared to a lot of people compete with.
Of course.
And when you say Starbucks and you talk about think about the resources they have for to do the branding the way they do in the stores and everything to be so on, and for us to get to like a Starbucks level with what we have internally, it takes a daily grind of trying to be as creative as we can and getting as much out of everything we have available.
Of course.
We got to leverage every resource we have. So for you to like, we're not Starbucks level, but to feel like a consumer, like you're painting us in like a level that it's a moment of pride for me. It's just cool. It's awesome.
Like when the products are not cheap, but you get what you pay for. Like, and for me, I'm not putting anything on project. You guys all know I don't put anything on my car that is not worth of quality. And it's for me. I drive the car every day. It's not for the shows. It's not for the glamour. It's not because it's a timepiece, and it is really a nice piece in the car. It's not for that. It's for me when I'm driving every day. I want to have something nice in my hand while I'm shifting, or any type of part that I put on the car. And you guys know that from what I have on the car currently. But this just for some reason, like, and I honestly know what the reason was. Is that from the moment the product getting to my house quicker, I think that was just luck.
No, we just try hard.
And they give you good disclaimers. They let you know everything. It's kind of like you're not left in the dark with anything. You get an email confirming that you placed your order. You're getting confirmation that your order, in regards of what you ordered, has been completely made. You get another confirmation that says that it's going to be shipped. And you get another confirmation that lets you know it's delivered. So it's kind of like, for me, with that, it's kind of like, oh man,
it's tailored.
It's tailored. I'm like, I'm already.
Yeah.
It's just like now I'm like, oh god, is it that good? And then when you open the box, it's like it's that good.
Yeah, that's cool.
For me, it's literally just that great.
That's awesome.
And I know that, and I've heard about it a lot. Especially, and obviously you said that you're in the GT86, BRZ, FRS community. I hear from a lot of Subaru people that like your shift knob's the shift knob to usually go to. And I heard a couple of people in the Volkswagen community is like, have you tried Raceseng? I was like,
that's good.
Who? Raceseng? Is like, yeah, Raceseng. He's like, you got to look him on. I look him on Instagram, and it's like this high quality flow of pictures and video content on their Instagram, and I'm like, why have I never heard about this company before?
It's because we're tiny.
But you know what, though? I want to touch on that a little bit. The fact that you're a small company means that you can have a lot of quality control.
Yes, no, absolutely.
And that, I think, for a consumer aspect, it's not for the person that just wants to, to get like a shift knob or to get camber plates or to get something else, really just wants to get the part in for it to function properly. If it functions properly, that's pretty much the end of the story for them. They're happy. For people like me, or I'm sure some of you guys too. You guys follow my channel. You know how intricate I am when it comes to certain things on the car. That when it goes into the quality aspect of it, and then there's certain things like, if this was like another brand, it's like, I would have done that differently. Or I'm serious. I can't. It was just when I saw like that Instagram post, and then I contemplated it for a while.
Oh yeah,
since November.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Because we talked for Black Friday, and I was just gonna get the cheapest thing, and I thought about it. I'm like, I was just gonna get spherology, the metal, with the brushed aluminum, with the engraving, and call it a day. And I thought about it. I'm like, that would still be nice, but I'm like, why not paint it? Why not see what they could do with the paint? And when you get the paint, my God, that translucent paint.
It brings it to life.
And that's not even to say they make a wide variety of colors and satin finishes with texture as well. And they do everything in-house. I'm correct about that? Yeah, so you guys do everything in-house, which means that the quality control continues with how the metal is cut, how it's shaped, how the engraving and stuff go, how how's the paint quality and the atmosphere, making sure that the paint is going to be perfect the first
Now
time?
the powder coating that we do send out. But
You
as
do
far
send
as,
out, okay.
There'd be an oven back there somewhere that you'd be like,
I don't know.
boiling it.
You have so much. I figured
Shop tour, it's coming.
Yes.
No,
That's going to be the next video, guys.
we manufacture absolutely as much as we can in house. So we do the majority of the metal cutting here. There's some things that from a machining standpoint we don't, or we can't do as well as a vendor that can.
Right.
And it's like, listen, they have a machining center that will make that part 10 times faster than what we have. Then we do align ourselves with people like that. But
Right.
the majority, like your part was completely cut here. You know, that was those machines humming in the background right now. You'll actually.
It's not like Volkswagen. It's actually built in Mexico. Because it's German, right?
Yeah, it's like you'll see the machines cutting shift knobs out there, and to me that's neat. And you know, I often look around the marketplace too, and I think of brands that are just warehouses, and like I wouldn't know what to do if that's what all I was. But that just doesn't align with my core of what I want to do as a living, what I want to do, for a career. I want to be design, and I love. Just so happens that we have machining capabilities. So you put those together,
Right.
then you get a cool competency that you can be different.
Yeah.
That's kind of the key.
And yeah, it's I can't thank you guys enough for literally creating products and really seeing that niche that's really not saw in the market.
Yeah.
It's a lot of not bashing any other company, so don't think that I am. But when you really have a company, it's kind of like he's the Bentley that takes 30 man hours to stitch the steering wheel.
Wait till you see the leather knobs coming out.
Oh, I'm gonna end up buying another shit. I thought that was it. It never ends with this project, guys. It never ends. Leather shift knobs. Oh God. I guess just the last question I want to ask is, where do you see yourself in regards of racing the company, in regards of products that you make and the company just in general?
Whew. You heard a little bit of the journey, so you can imagine when somebody asks me that, what it's taken me to get here has taken a lot out of me.
Yeah.
So for me to look forward, it's at this point, because of all the mistakes I've made and getting to this point,
Right.
It's hard for me to look so far forward because I don't want to make a mistake in there.
Of course.
And I don't say that from a way of it is apprehensive because it's a lot of the mistakes put us so far back,
Right.
and then we're just climbing the ladder, and every rung you get to is like pulling teeth. So, but I think we fundamentally have a skill set and a consumer base that we just need to cater them with other Raceseng products. Just do the same things we do in here, and that can be for other areas of the car that we have experience in.
Right.
Just sometimes we're not doing it yet. Like I mentioned about, we're working on splitter rods in there, and I know that might be as like, wow, how basic can splitter rods be? When I show you actually what we have, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, why didn't anybody ever think of that? And the key is we have to get into it, and you have to spend like 40, 80, 120 hours going through this process of creating something that hasn't been done before.
Sure.
I'm not saying nobody's ever made weighted shift knobs before. I think we just put some things on it that helped it be unique. But I want to get into other categories. That's like key for me. I'd love to make wheels one day. I'd love to be out there machining billet.
Oh God, imagine if you
Ford's
made wheels.
billet wheels. Aero, I think, is key, but really, for your consumer base, I haven't ever said this yet on any sort of camera. I truly believe that in 10 to 15 years, the automotive market is not going to look anything like it looks today.
I agree.
And my perception of that is where I'm trying to align us. I really think design and styling are going to be on the forefront of the marketplace because we're basically going to be locked out of really doing much to the cars.
Right.
I think from a government regulation standpoint, and I think the OEMs are going to outpace the technology that smaller companies can do. So something like, a shock absorber systems. A lot of people don't know the OEM struts, and like Bilstein makes a really good damper. I mean, it's really good, and it's going to come a point.
So does H&R.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
Edit that out. And I think companies like aftermarket brands are going to get locked out of that. And because it's the magnetic shocks on a Corvette are incredible. They're magnetic dampening shocks.
So the Camaros and the Mustangs too. Yeah.
I think there's going to be several key categories that are still going to exist.
Cool. I gotta hear these.
Handling.
Okay. That's a must.
You're going to need downforce, right? You're going to need wings. You're going to need splitters, diffusers. Those things are always going to be there, I think, because the OEMs aren't going to want to put a diffuser, a legit diffuser or splitter on a car.
Right.
Not going to happen. Wheels always going to be there, and that's a core fundamental styling experience. Unless eventually in 2020 or 2030 we have round wheels, but fully round spheres, not wheels like we have now. So
Right.
handling wheels, I think performance is going to get locked out. Everything's going electric, and unless you start learning about how electric motors work now, and you outpace Tesla and Rimac and all the suppliers that are now developing electric motors,
Yep.
so performance is probably going to go to the wayside unless it's improvements into how the electric motors work.
Of course.
That's where I think, so we are literally staying on the forefront of design. We're trying to do really strategic styling decisions, but also start catering products to the markets that I think are still going to exist in 2030. And I really think it's going to be a different landscape. So I better start thinking hard now because, like we make lightweight pulleys. Well, internal combustion engines, there's no two ways around it. They're on their way out.
Right.
So should I be developing pulleys for all kinds of new platforms? Probably not. I should probably be putting that time into like the 5 to 10 year plan products. So it's a tough question to answer because it's tricky. Like, we have to align ourselves with products that are going to be around for 5 to 10 years. That's hard to do because your design has to be timeless, super timeless.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, that's going to conclude this interview with Jared, CEO of Racing.
Oh, jeez. CEO.
Yes, you're the CEO. That is right. And I'm going to acknowledge it. But this has been fantastic. Next video that you guys are going to see is a shop tour of the whole facility. And I hope you guys stick around for it. Jared, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, man.
And if you guys like this video, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to JR14. Also, check out the Raceseng link down below for their website so you can get all of the products that you need. I hope you guys have a good one. And remember, cars are a lifestyle.